All right, you guys. Today is, I don't even know the date, February 23rd, January 23rd, not February yet. We are talking about February. Our call tonight is focusing on the Team Cup, which starts February 1st. If you have not registered yet, you still have time. We're going to kind of talk about all the rules and how you get points and whatnot here in a minute. But I did just want to, since this is our last time together in January, I want to touch base with you guys on what all is happening in February. Just a rundown for you guys real quick, okay? We've got Clean Week starting on the 5th. We have our prep week for our 30-day group starting the 12th. We have our 30-day group starting the 19th. And our team is doing its own sneak peek. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody.
Yeah.
That way there's not a lot of background. Oh, whoever that was muted themselves. Awesome. We're going to do our own sneak peek on the 26th. And we will kind of fill you in on all the details on all of those as the time comes. We're going to talk about some of that tonight on the call, but I just want to make sure everybody has that in their schedule since our new monthly system is still new. All right, so Team Cup, you guys, is a great way to work kind of closer with a couple of our teammates to really leverage, I thought I heard a dog, to really leverage your business. Get new people in our challenge group, get new people on our team. And instead of making you guys kind of group up in your groups of 5 and figure it out together, I thought it would be a really great idea for all of us to come together, you know, as OFE and help each other out, because that's what it's all about, right? We're all rooting each other on. So I'm going to kick us off and just kind of go over how you earn points, kind of how it works, the incentives that you can earn, and then we will kind of talk about, you know, different ways to start marketing for the month, different ways to use your Instagram and your Facebook, and our plan for the month for your, what's the word? I told you guys I'm tired, but to help you guys in February. All right. So I have the website pulled up, but if you guys go to your coach office and click on, breaking news? Is that what you click on? The news. It's over on the left hand corner. And scroll down. There is a Team Beachbody Cup little page. You can search for an FAQ. The FAQ is 9753. And let's see. So it's teams of 5. Hopefully you guys have gotten your teams together. If you are on the call tonight and you want to be on a team and you're not there yet, let us know. There's always people, you know, within our team, within Fit and Fierce, Team Courage, there's always going to be people that are probably needing some more people. So we will get you plugged in. But it is a team of 5, no more than 2 lifetime diamonds. One of those can be a star diamond. So that's a little bit different than anything we've done before. And let's see. You're not going to be assigned to a team if you didn't sign up for one, so don't just kind of be waiting around for that. Like I said, if you want to be on a team, let us know so we can find you guys a team. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I mean, it's boring FAQ like page, so it's not anything exciting. But just so you can, sometimes I have to read it and hear it. Okay, I'm scrolling. Okay, so how you earn points. All right, so you earn points through Success Club points and rank advancing. 1 Success Club point equals 1 Team Cup point. However, if you rank advance in the month of February, you earn 3 Team Cup points. If your PS coach rank advances in the month of February, whether they are registered and participating in Team Cup or not, you earn 3 Team Cup points. All right. So those are the 2 ways you earn. Now, to be eligible for the prizes, the rewards, the individual reward is a Beachbody umbrella. The only Success Club points count for this award. Okay, so your rank advancement points, you can't get 2 Success Club points and rank advance and qualify. You have to hit Success Club to qualify for the Team Beachbody umbrella. You also get a cool little ribbon, Team Cup ribbon, for your badge at Summit. The team reward is if all 5 of the people on the team qualify for Success Club, okay, in 2018. Now, I want you guys to also realize that just hitting Success Club 5 does not mean you qualify. You have to have your 90 PV on HD. There have been some people that have missed out on officially qualifying for Success Club, not even just during Team Cup, but during a month because they put their Shakeology on hold or whatever it is. So make sure, whether it's your performance line, your Shakeology, whatever it is, make sure you're getting that PV. And I know there's chat going on, but I can't see it. So if there's something coming up that I need to answer, will one of you guys let me know, please? So all 5 must qualify for Success Club in February to earn the team reward. And there's a lot of fun things that you get to do with the team award. You get a Team Beachbody coach shirt. You get an exclusive cup workout at Summit. You get to experience our newest Beachbody program, which we don't even know what it is. It's going to be announced at Summit. You also get a photo op with trainers, and also the Team Cup ribbon for your Summit badge. So you guys, that's really exciting, and a lot of fun to be able to be included in those like exclusive workouts at Summit. And I mean, especially when it's a brand new workout, and get your picture with a trainer. So I think, our goal obviously is let's hit Success Club 5 so that those of us going to Summit can really enjoy it. Now, there are also regional team awards and then the Team Cup champion. Now, these 2, the rank advancements points that you get do count, okay? So for the team, you again have to all hit Success Club in February, Success Club 5. And your team has to be one of the top two Team Cup point earning teams in the region. So I don't know if you guys know this, but we are broken down into different regions in Beachbody. There's West, Central, East, Northeast, like Alaska. There's a lot of different regions, but the top 2 teams in the region. So with your points, including rank advancements, you get floor seating at general sessions. You get on-stage recognition at Summit. You get Hall of Fame recognition, access to the leadership ladder and Success Club parties. You get the top regional team ribbon and the top regional team Summit apparel. So lots of fun stuff. And you guys, I don't want you to think this is out of reach, because it's not at all. I mean, if you just put your heads down and you focus on getting people involved in our challenge groups and in our team, this is a huge possibility for all of us here. The Team Cup champion is the team who wins it all, the overall winner. And each team member, you get your flights paid for Summit, you get hotel paid for, you get like a VIP party, all kinds of great stuff. All right. So that is really kind of what I wanted to share, make sure everybody knew how to earn points for Team Cup. But this is, it's not anything, you don't have to do anything different this month, right? This is all about continuing to do your power hours, to talk to people, to create those conversations, create those relationships, get people involved in Clean Week, then get them moved over to our challenge group and on our team. It's not anything different than we should be doing every month. But maybe these little extra incentives will make you buckle down and maybe do it a little more consistently, share a little bit more vulnerably, share without the fear of like rejection, because you just want to get people involved and in our group. But I'm really excited for it. My first Team Cup was August after I signed up in April. And I had no idea what I was doing, but they were like, well, you have, in order to earn the Success Club prize this month, you have to be on a team. And I was like, well, okay, because I'm all about like the swag. And it was really awesome. I hit my highest Success Club numbers I'd ever hit still. Like that's still my highest that month. And I worked closely with these 4 other girls. I didn't really even know who they were, but it's a lot of fun. And I hope you guys have fun with it. I mean, it's not do or die here, but you could really push yourself and really see the opportunities and just the things that you are capable of this month. So the first thing we want you guys to do is something we do as new coaches, and that is creating your list of 100. If you've never created this list before, what it is a list of 100 people that you want to reach out to, whether it's because you want them to be in a challenge group with you, maybe you want them to coach with you, maybe they've talked to you about Shakeology before, whatever it is, the people you go to church with, the people you work with, the people your husband works with, the people you go on vacations with, make a list of 100 people. I know you know more than 100 people, but make that list and work off that list this month. I know for that first Team Cup I had been a coach May, June, and July. So I'd been a coach for 3 weeks and some change. I went back through all my conversations I had had for those 3 months, and the people that had given me a price objection or told me, now's not the right time or whatever it is, they made the list. I was going to reach back out to them that month, as well as people I hadn't even talked to before. So you guys, I want that to be one thing you work on over the next couple of days. Just keep adding people to that list and think about the opportunity that you are providing for them, right? These are the people that you want to do this with, or these are the people that you think could benefit in one way or another, whether it's, they're wanting to get healthier this year. They need some accountability. Maybe they need the tribe. They need people to lean in on. Whatever it is, think about those people, put them on your list. And that's the list I want you to start focusing on for the month of February. Because I know a lot of times you sit down, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do a power hour. I'm going to connect with 2 people. Who do I connect with? And then you sit there for 5 minutes trying to think of somebody. So make this list. That way, when you sit down, you know who you're going to talk to that day. You know who you're going to follow up with, whatever it is. So some of you may be sitting there being like, list of 100, I'm not going to do that. Like who writes out who they're going to talk to? Do it. Do something different this month to see what you can do with your business. All right, you guys? Okay, I think, Jessica, are you talking next? Are you going to go over events?
I wasn't supposed to yet.
Okay,
I was next.
I can't remember. So.
It's okay. I was next. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little about what you have to invite to. So like Haley said, you have a couple things going on in February that you're going to be inviting to. The first one is super advantageous for new coaches. It is the clean week, and that's why we had this call today, because we want to have you guys prepped and feel ready to go out there and start inviting to clean week, because we're about 2 weeks out from when clean week starts. And so obviously we want to start talking to people now if you haven't already. And that is why Logan spends so much time making those beautiful calendars for us of what events we have, or what groups we have coming up, so that you always know what to invite to next. Personally, like, I usually will start with a challenge group, with a 30-day group. And if someone's not ready for that, then I will start talking to them about clean week. But if that intimidates you, like, that's okay. Like, just get your people into clean week. Our ratio of people who get into clean week and buy challenge packs is huge. Like, we should probably figure out the percentage, because it's honestly, like, really, really huge. Because it gives these people a chance to come in and see what it is that we do. People may watch us on social media and watch us on our Instagram stories, and as good of a job as we think we are doing talking about our challenge groups and our superfoods and our workouts, sometimes people have no idea what the heck a challenge group is, okay? And maybe you guys can relate to that. You might not have known what a challenge group was when you signed up. So this gives them the opportunity to get into a challenge group for 7 days plus days, and to get surrounded. And not only that, but to see what Beachbody On Demand is and what it's like. And then also to get Shakeology in their hands. Is their life going to be absolutely turned upside down by a week of Shakeology? Probably not. But what are we going to show them? First of all, it doesn't taste like crap. Second of all, it tastes amazing. And then we just have a chance to, like, pour into these people. They are literally in a group with us, like, where all of us are pouring into these challengers, whether they're our challengers or not. Like, we're a team. And so we are pouring into these people. We're making them feel valued. We're being their best cheerleaders, and they don't want that week to end. And $30, you guys, clean week is $30. That is so less intimidating than trying to sell $60 challenge pack. So if that is, if you're brand new and you're a little bit nervous with inviting, start with clean week. Like, start with clean week tomorrow. And we're going to talk a little bit on how to do that. And everything we talk about, you can use those same marketing strategies for a 30-day group. Okay? So as soon as you get done getting your people into clean week, then you're going to move right into talking about your 30-day group. So like Haley said, most important thing, you're not going to do anything different this month, okay? But this really gives you an opportunity to, like she said, put your head down and figure out how to do it better, how to figure out who you want to reach out to. And, a lot of us have had our highest successful points, like she said. A lot of us rank advanced during Team Cup because the enthusiasm is contagious. Like, it's just super exciting watching everyone's results, like, hey, I changed a life today, and I changed a life today, and I got another girl in the clean week, and it's just contagious. It's a really, really awesome feeling. And once that momentum starts going, you guys are going to feel it, and you're just going to want to help all the people. Okay. So, Haley's going to touch on Jessica's going to touch on like events, and Jordan's going to touch up on follow-ups and stuff. But first and foremost, I want to talk to you guys about that list that Haley was talking about. Okay. Because like she said, it may sound weird writing out a list, and you may think, I'm not going to do that. Like she said, I'm glad she said that, because I think a lot of people are like, I'm not going to do that. We all do that. We all still do that. Like 2 years in, we all still work from a list. Like, whether it's people watching our Instagram stories, whether, it's our old list that moves to our new list, whether it's reevaluating our new friends or new acquaintances, we all work off a list. We don't just fly by the seat of our pants and sit down at our computer and just, oh, who do I want to reach out to today? We work from a list, top to bottom, and I personally like write notes next to the people I'm talking to kind of like jog my memory where I'm at in those conversations. But conversations, okay, when we say write a list, you're thinking, I can't invite that person to Clean Week. Like, that's super scary. I'm not going to invite that person. That's not what we're asking you to do. We're asking you to make a connection with that person. That's all we're asking, okay? So when you make that list, I don't want you to make the list thinking I'm going to have to eventually invite this person, and that's super scary, okay? All you have to think about is, I'm going to start a conversation with this person. Can you start a conversation with this person? Put them on the list. I don't care if they're working out. I don't care if they're healthy. I don't care if they're not healthy. You have no idea what their need is. No idea. And you won't know until you start a conversation, okay? I spent like an hour on the phone with one of my coaches the other night talking to her, who's pretty new, and talking to her about how to start conversations. And she's really afraid about being icky. Can we all relate to that? We don't ever want to feel icky, right? We don't ever, Megan's waving her arms in the morning. We don't ever want to feel salesy or icky, okay? If you ever, mark my words, if you ever feel salesy or icky, you're not doing it right, okay? So talk to your coach and figure out how you can tweak it, because you shouldn't ever, 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 ever feel icky. This is a gift we are offering people. This is a way that is like, this is something that's going to change their life, okay? So this should never feel like you're a salesman. You're not selling them a car. You're inviting them to a tribe of women that have changed your life. Okay, that have legitimately changed your life. How could you not invite to that? Okay, so start a conversation with that person. Let's say I have Jessica on my list. I go to Jessica's page. I scroll her Instagram or her Facebook. I see what we have in common. I see something that maybe I could connect with her on. I love on her posts. I maybe comment on her posts. Maybe I see that she took a recent trip. Maybe I see that we have something in common, like co-parenting. Maybe I see, anything that I can relate to Jessica with. And then I message her about that. I don't message her about Clean Week, okay? So I say, hey, Jessica, I saw that you went to the ocean last weekend. We're planning a trip to the ocean next month. How was it? The conversation started, okay? And you just keep the conversation going. One way to do that, keep asking questions. Keep asking questions about, you don't make a statement and then just leave it. Continue to ask questions, okay? It doesn't have to be like you're interviewing them, but make it natural, like you're just talking to a friend. And in that conversation, you will discover a need. I guarantee you'll discover a need, whether it's health, whether it's physical, emotional health, whether she's like, oh my gosh, girl, like I've been drinking wine every single night, or my husband works all the time and I feel super alone, community. Whether it's I'm really stressed out at my job and I wish I could be home with my kids more, financial. Whether it's, I'm stressed out because we're getting ready to go to the ocean in 6 months and I want to wear a swimsuit. It will come up, and if it doesn't come up, you're starting to establish a conversation that you can say, hey, I don't know if you'd be interested in this, but I'm doing this really cool thing. It's called Clean Week, and it's just 7 days, and it'll give you a chance to see what it is that we do in our challenge groups, and I would love it if you joined us. Like, is that something that you've ever considered? That's it. Like, it's not like, hey, you should join Clean Week, and it's 7 days, and you get this and this and this, and it's $30, and da-da-da-da-da, word vomit. Don't do that, okay? Just have a conversation with somebody. I can tell you that this took a little while for me to learn, okay? It takes time, and you're going to mess up, okay? And if you mess up, just fall on your sword and just be like, I'm sorry, that was a lot of information I just threw up on you. Like, I've totally said that before. Or I just get really excited. Or, or if you've had a conversation that went south, fall on your sword, follow up. And we're going to talk about follow-ups. But this should feel natural. And inviting to Clean Week is a fun event. So it doesn't have to be as intimidating as, like I said, a challenge pack. So when you're inviting to Clean Week, it can be as simple as, hey, I'm doing this really cool thing, and I just wondered if you ever considered checking out what a challenge group's like. Like, maybe you've seen my post or whatever. This is after you've already had a conversation with them. Don't just come at them like you haven't talked to them in 7 years and you send them a copy and paste message about how they should join your Clean Week. That's not who we are, okay? You guys get those messages and they're icky and they're gross. We don't want to do that. If you are sharing on your Facebook and Instagram consistently, 2 to 3 times a day, if you're using Instagram stories, which Logan's going to talk to us about because she's a pro, you are going to, this is what I found, okay? I was really late to the Instagram game. I didn't think I needed it. I had a lot of followers on Facebook. I hit Success Club. I don't need Instagram. That just seems like a lot more work. I was wrong, okay? In November, when I set the goal to get my husband a diamond, I was like, I'm going to start using Instagram more. And I started using Instagram stories. Here's the beauty of Instagram stories. When people watch your stories and you talk to them like you're talking to a friend, like Megan shared, that she's getting comfortable doing that, people feel like they know you. They feel like they're your friend, And guess what happens when they feel like they know you and they're your friend? They open up to you faster. You can get past the superficial shit and get down to the nitty gritty, okay? So instead of like talking about the weather, they're gonna get down to, girl, I really related to that video video you shared the other day. Like, oh, that is so me right now. I'm telling you, it works. People feel like they know you. You're inviting them into your life. You're sharing about your kids. You're sharing about your struggles. You're being vulnerable. And they know you. If they're following you, it's because they like you. It's because they feel like they could be your friend. And that is where the magic happens. Because if you can get people to open up about their real need, then we can help them. Just inviting to a challenge group without figuring out what a need is, in my experience, doesn't usually work. And if they do actually buy it and get in the group, they usually quit, you guys. Because I haven't connected it to a need. I haven't connected it to a deep why. And so why are they invested? They're not. I have to know what they need and why they're there so I can be a good coach and remind them. If I don't, I'm not doing my job. And that's why people sign up and quit. That's not the only reason people quit. It's not always the case. I don't want you to feel like if someone quits, it's your fault. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to get them invested, and you can't do that if you don't know what their need and their why is. And if you can get that in a conversation, awesome. And if it doesn't happen this month, it might happen next month or the month after. Or, in Kaylee's case, a year later. There are people, we all have as coaches, people that we can say, we invited for like a whole year and they told us no. And now here they are, saying this changed my life. So I hope that helps you guys. If you need help with conversations, we are all here to help you. All here to help you. So post it in OFE. Say, I'm struggling with this conversation. It doesn't have to be just an objection. Just say, I don't know where to go from here. I don't know how to say this. We have scripts on how to invite to a 30 days so it doesn't feel icky. It's not icky to use a script. You just change it in the wording so that it fits your personality. And those are some tools that you're going to have in your toolbox so that you can go out and invite people and help as many people as possible. So Jessica is going to talk to us a little about events. You guys have probably seen some of us coaches create an event, like maybe to a Clean Week or to a 30-day group where people could just mark interested. And it's not as scary as sending you a message. So Jessica's going to talk to us a little bit about how that can be advantageous, how to handle that, and your experience with it.
Hey guys, hopefully most of y'all saw my little post yesterday and you're not wondering who in the world this random person is talking on your team call. But I am officially part of your team now. So hopefully I can add some value to you guys, and it won't be totally off what y'all are used to hearing. So I am one of those coaches that is not very in your face. And so I still have people that don't have a clue what I do, even after close to 3 years. So I found events are a very great way to kind of let people know that you actually own a business and that you are providing some sort of service that they can actually check out and share with their friends in maybe a less intimidating way than, some of the other avenues out there. I would be lying if I say I create an event for every single group. I don't, but I have had a lot of success with doing them, and I like to play around with them a lot. I like to change up like what kind of picture I use as like my event, like if it includes me, if it's more of like for Clean Week, I have done something that's just very bold Clean Week, more along the lines of something obviously nutrition related, so that when it pops up on their screen, they could look at it and say, hey, maybe I would be interested in this. They're not seeing me per se. But I usually use Canva and just kind of make something very quickly to be able to advertise, again, something usually eye-catching if possible. And what was that? I'll type, Canva. But I'll try to make a note like on which ones tend to do better. That way next time, I know if people responded less to something that didn't include a picture of me and they wanted more of that personal touch, then I'll remember to do that the next go round. But part of what's so great about events is you're able to, it could be personal, but not as personal, to where you're able to get it in front of more people than you may be able to behind the scenes. And so you're able to give them little bits of information, not all of it per se, so that they're not going to just go and like Google everything, but they can see, exactly what your event is going to provide them with. Usually I'll do some kind of bulleted summary or something along the lines of what I plan on providing them with. I'll go back and forth and play around with if I leave price out. I've kind of gotten mixed, with that, and I'm sure everybody else has seen that as well. But the beauty of it is once it starts getting seen by people that you have been making those connections with and are interested, and they start clicking that they're interested or they're going, then it's pushed in front of their friend list. And so you're able to get exposure to people that you may haven't, you may have not talked to before, and then they start getting intrigued and want to know what this is. And so then every time you go in and look at who's interested, you could make a list of people that you're not yet friends with. You could go and check out their profile and learn more about them and what connections you may share, and start sending these people friend requests and start making those connections. Then you could ultimately get to the point where you're asking them what made them interested in your event. And I'm just going to add this right now because I think it's something that I learned the hard way, but get on the phone with people if you can. Like if you start talking to somebody and they're sharing like some pretty in-depth, stuff, and Clean Week is not going to be the best fit for them, don't short yourself and automatically just say, oh yeah, I think Clean Week's going to be great for you. Try to get these people on the phone and truly let them hear your heart and let them know that you have a full solution. Because a lot of times that's what happens. And I think Leslie, I'm not sure if it was Leslie or Haley, but I always lead with 30-day groups. And it's only if I get some kind of like price objection or people that are terrified with Shakeology tasting like mud, then I'll go like the Clean Week route, or it's people that see like my event or my ad post about Clean Week that come to me interested. I know it's a little easier whenever you've been doing this for as long as, some of us have. And I'm one of those people that my life has been absolutely transformed. And so I don't really play around with fear. But whenever you kind of get a couple under your belt and you have these totally random connections that you've made and you change their life, then you just invite anybody and everybody. But it always starts with that connection. And by creating an event and sparking that interest, you're more likely to have connections that you would have never had before. And the other thing I want to add is never prejudge somebody, because it's making me think the reason, like I think she was on here, one of my main coaches, we met because she saw an event I created on a pumpkin group. And we were total strangers, and she obviously knew her stuff fitness-wise and was totally intimidating. And I kept reaching out and asking her questions. And it took a couple of months, but then we got on the phone and she had no clue what I did. She said she wanted to be a part of it. So yeah, she's on. You just got to throw that out the door. And, with events, you're able to give them a little glimpse of you. It's kind of like a segment of your like page, but you could be a little more intimate. You could go live and explain things. You could post fun like polls, like I've done polls like, what do you struggle with most with nutrition, and just different ways to get engagement. And then before the event even starts, you already have a group that's connecting and realizing that they're not alone. And so, when they start seeing that people are jumping on the bandwagon, then it's just like a snowball effect. I'm trying to look at your comments if it's anything important. Yes, voice messaging is awesome too. I am not an Instagram person, so I am on the boat of needing to learn way more.
Logan's going to take that in a second.
But one thing I saw Amy had posted, events give you that option of like inviting whoever you want. And, do I invite like my whole friend list, or do I just do private messaging? I go back and forth. I personally do not send a random event invite like straight off the event, page to somebody that I have not talked to. I get enough of those in my own notifications, and it drives me insane because I don't want to be invited to another makeup party. And I feel like when you do that, you're kind of, you're close to what people want to avoid. And so I usually reserve it to people that I have connections with. I know they have a need that it could fit. We've maybe even talked about it before. And I usually still follow up with a private message, letting them know that I sent them an invite to an event that I was doing. And, whatever reason we had discussed whatever, that she was interested in Shakeology, but didn't want to do a whole month. And that's why I sent it to her. But yeah, typically I don't. I have shared now, not for Clean Week, and I don't know if y'all ever veer from Clean Week, but I like to do random groups that I'm interested in, mainly for accountability for myself. But I have had great success with sharing those types of things in interest groups that have nothing to do with, things that would get blocked. And I've made a ton of connections through running events that way. But yeah, that may be a whole nother topic. Anything else that y'all could think of that needs to be covered with events?
No, I think that's great. And that's exactly how I use them too. I will say I ran an event for our 80-day group starting beginning of December, and there were a lot of people that said interested that, you know, either have not responded or, you know, whatever it is, but now they're all my connections. Like they're all people that now I need to follow up with, you know, and some of a lot of them, we are still just chatting about how Christmas was and, you know, weather and whatnot. And the group timing wasn't good for them, but now they're on my list. So that's another reason creating those events and getting those people that say they're interested, reaching out to them, you know, sending a friend request and reach out to them. Something simple I typically say, if you guys are wondering like, okay, well, what do I do when people say interested? I will check out their profile, make sure they're not like super creepy, and send them a friend request. I mean, you guys know there's
just mildly creepy is okay, but super creepy, no.
Facebook profiles out there that I think are not real people, but you know, send them a friend request, and then Leslie's laughing, but I really do think there are. Send them a friend request and send them a message, and I just say, hey, Jessica, since she was just talking, hey, Jessica, I saw that you said you were interested in joining my next 80-day group. I am so excited. We're getting a great group together for it. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. What sparked your interest? That's all I say. I don't like say, hey, awesome. Okay, it's going to be 170 and you're going to get this and you're going to this and this and this and this. And this is when we start. You ready? Like you still, even though they said they're interested and even though you've given them those details in the event, you still want to start that conversation so they realize, hey, I'm talking to a real person here. Okay, she kind of cares about me. Like, and anyway, so I think events are great. Thanks, Jessica, for sharing that. Jordan's going to talk to us about following up with people.
Can I say one thing before Jordan goes?
No.
Write down everything Jordan says. Okay?
Please don't, because
Here's the deal. I sucked at follow-ups before Jordan came into my life. Okay? Because I always felt like I was bugging people. You know? I didn't want to be that annoying person that was like bugging people. She has completely shifted my mindset when it comes to follow-ups. Like now, if I don't follow up, I feel icky. Because I just sent you an invite and then I didn't even care if you answered. So write down what she says because it works.
For sure.
And she's a genius.
And to answer Jennifer's question, what do you do if they never read your message? So listen to what Jordan's about to say. But with mine, I would give it 2 or 3 days and then I'd send them a message. And you know, you can tell if they've seen it or if they've checked, you know, if they really haven't. But either way, I still say, hey, I'm not sure if you saw my last message. I'm working on getting our group together today, and I would love to get you involved. Wanted to make sure you saw that I'm ready to talk to you or whatever it is. Just casually follow up because maybe she checked her message in the checkout line at Target and didn't respond because her 3 kids were going crazy and then forgot. You never know. So, yeah.
And one thing about what Jennifer's saying is that sometimes those people aren't your friends. So sometimes they don't see your messages. You know how it like filters it?
Yes.
So do what Jessica was saying and post in the event. Like I'll say, hey guys, I sent out messages today. Go check your inbox. If you don't see it, check here. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of times people don't know that if you're not my friend, you might not see my message come through.
Yeah. And that's what I've done. Hey, I sent you guys a friend request. If you said you're interested, check your messages. Okay, Jordan.
Okay.
Sorry.
That is what I was going to say about that question was what Leslie said. If you post in the event that you messaged people, then it might, get their alarms going. Oh crap. Maybe she sent me a message and I just didn't see it because we're not friends. And then they'll go look at it and then you just go from there. Okay. So the dreaded follow-up. Okay. Not very many people like follow-ups except me. Okay. We've talked about the recipe box before. I'm not going to go into that in detail tonight, but for me, that is what it boils down to, using my recipe box. Okay. Brianna, she was talking to me earlier tonight. She's like, my recipe box is overflowing. Like, I got papers flying out everywhere. Like, I just don't know what to do. I'm like, girl, that's a good problem to have if your recipe box is full. Like, come on now. Okay. So anyway, so I write every single person that I talk to. I write their name on a note card. Okay. And they go into a different spot in my recipe box. But I write down every single person I send a message to. Doesn't matter what I say to them. Doesn't matter nothing. Their name goes on on a note card. Okay. So for following up with people after you send that initial invite, first off, let's just start with crickets, because I know that's what you're all wanting to hear, because that's like probably the biggest feedback that we get is nothing, right? Because if you get people that respond immediately, like, yes, I want to sign up. What do I do? Let me do it now. I want to know what you're saying, because that's incredible. And you don't get that very often. You're going to have to follow up with people, probably going to have to follow up with them multiple times. Okay. So if you send your initial message to connect with them, or if it's someone who said they were interested in your event and it was a message saying, hey, I'm glad, I'm excited you're interested, yada, yada, whatever, then, they don't look at it for a couple days, or you go back in because 2 days later, they're one of your note cards that you're supposed to message them that day, and you realize that they haven't looked at it, or they have looked at it, but haven't messaged you back. So then that's where you're going to write what Haley kind of said. Hey girl, I know you're probably super busy, and if you're anything like me, you probably check your messages in the checkout line at Walmart and you forget to message the person back because your 2-year-old's crazy. I mean, you don't have to say that, but that's like something I would say. So, you say that, sometimes, probably more often than not, they're going to come back with, oh my gosh, you're right. I totally meant to message you back, but you're right. I have a 2.5-year-old and he's crazy. So I did forget to message you back. Please tell me more. I have that happen all the time, you guys. Okay. So you have to follow up with these people. These people that you're not following up with could be golden challengers. Like, they could just be the perfect challenger, just waiting for you to scoop them up and help them. Okay. But you're missing out because you're not following up with them. And not only that, but like Leslie said, if you don't follow up, Logan, you're just sweet. If you don't follow up with these people, then they're going to be like, well, she just wanted my money, so I'm not going with her anyways. I don't care if she does message me back in a month. You know what I mean? And you don't want to be that person. Okay. I have done that simply just because if I don't like sit down and like really concentrate, I might forget to write someone down on a note card. And I've totally done that before. And then, I somehow realized later that, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to message them and it's been 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, I feel like a horrible person. You know what I mean? So then I have to kind of start my wheel over with those people. But if I would have followed up with them 2 to 3 days later, be a different story. Anyways, so following up with people who do message you back, immediately or a day after or whatever. Like everybody else has said, just keep the conversation flowing. And when we say keep the conversation flowing, this does not mean that you have to message them 5 times in one day. Okay. So when my conversations are going well, I might reply once, maybe twice to that person the same day, but that's it. And then I wait another day, sometimes 2 days. Okay. Because eventually, you're probably going to run out of stuff to talk about with this person if you don't know them. All right. If you know them, that's a different story. But if it's a cold market person, I mean, you're only going to be able to figure out either A, what you're talking about with them, or B, what you creepishly stalk off of their profile. Right. So, keeping the conversation flowing, like I said, does not mean that you have to have a conversation going all day long. And just like Leslie said, this is a business. I mean, it's a lot of things, but it is a business. And you do have to have business hours, okay? So we don't need to be messaging people at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night when our kids need to get ready for bed. You know, we don't need to be messaging people at 6:37 in the morning when we're trying to get our kids ready for school, or when we're laying them down for a nap, or whatever you're doing. Okay. You need to set your business hours and only message people during your power hour. Okay. It's going to be the best for you. Trust me. So when I first started, I did not know that, and I about ran myself ragged. So, does anyone have any questions about follow-ups? I ramble, and I'm sorry, and I get off track, and I don't know what I've said and haven't said. Let me see if there's any questions. She followed up with me for 9 months. Yeah, she did. And if she wouldn't have followed up with me for 9 months, then I don't know what, but I wouldn't be here. Yes, put the phone down and forget about it. Yeah, and Megan took her, 5,000 years? More about the recipe box. Okay, I actually think that I have a video in OFE about the recipe box, so you can just search for it in there. Yep, or just send me a message and I'll talk to you about it. Jessica, 3 something? Unmute yourself if you have a question.
What? 3 boxes, the 3 recipe box. I know the one. Post.
No idea what you said.
You have 3.
Oh, okay. So I only have one. I mean, it's personal preference. So Jennifer had 3 different recipe boxes, and she just separated her box versus having different sections in her box. So she had a box for like people she's talking to. She had a box for current challengers that she has. You know, she just separated her box into different boxes. I keep mine together. There's just too much. I already have too many notebooks, so I don't need too many boxes on top of it. So, okay, I think that's all I got too, unless anybody has any other questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Jordan.
Ooh, that's my cue. Can you guys hear me okay? I had to log off and log back on because my audio wasn't working. Oh, and of course you're going to get all cranked as soon as I'm supposed to talk. Of course.
She just wants to share her piece tonight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, believe me, she tells you everything. Yeah. Everything that's on her mind. I'm going to piggyback off of Jordan's follow-up section really quick before I go into Instagram stories, and just say, when, you know, I'm following up with people and having conversations with people, you know, like Leslie said, you don't want to get to the point where you're like interrogating people or just like coming up with like stupid stuff to keep a conversation going. I don't keep conversations going with people indefinitely forever. I don't have time to keep up with that many conversations with the amount of people that I'm talking to and reaching out to daily. So I have conversations with people until it just kind of stops, but it doesn't stop. Like the relationship doesn't stop. They're on my list. They are in one of my focused lists in my Facebook page, like my prospects. So when I go to that like friends interest list, you know, they're there and I can see exactly what they're posting on Facebook. I can love bomb them and comment on their photos. So I'm still like a presence in their life. And then when they have something that, you know, is something that I can private message them about, then I'll private message them about that and, you know, strike the conversation back up. And while we're messaging privately on the side, my stuff is going to be showing up more frequently in their news feed. So they're going to see the stuff that I'm posting. So don't feel like you have to like drag out conversations with people like indefinitely forever when you don't really have anything to talk about, because there's other ways to stay relevant in their life. Rather than just like beating a dead horse in the message thread because you're trying to figure out how to invite them, but you haven't like got to that point yet. Does that make sense? It's just what I do and what works for me, because I can't message like every single person in my friends list like every single day. I just don't have the amount of hours to, I just don't work that much. because this is, you know, like a part-time gig for all of us. So I don't spend full-time hours working and messaging people all day long. And okay, so Instagram stories. So first things first, if you have not watched the Andrea Crowder Instagram story tutorial specifically for Beachbody coaches that's on YouTube, it's fantastic. It's like a 30-minute video, and she details like how to do all the cool little tricks, like, you know, turning your background to solid color, or, you know, changing the font colors to different things. So make sure that you watch that video. I'll just reshare it in the team page. So like make that an assignment to watch that video if you haven't already watched it. I actually watched it like 2 or 3 times just because I keep like learning more things from her. So the way that I like to promote my groups, like Clean Week or 30-day group, in my Instagram stories is, you know, through a series of slides that I'll usually post in the evening time, like kind of around the time that you would do like a call to action type post. That's the way you're going to treat these stories. And this is your opportunity to kind of grab people's attention and say, like, I have this opportunity. I really want you to join me. This is what you're going to get, X, Y, and Z. I tell them it's only $30. I tell them they can get their money back, like through a series of slides. And then, you know, share a few transformation photos towards the end of the slide, you know, towards the end of the segment of slides. And because transformation photos are always what grab people's attention, right? And sorry, I got my hair done today and I had like a random hair that made its way into my mouth. So with your slides, you can get pretty specific. Like, you get 4 30-minute workouts that you can stream online. You get 7 days of my favorite superfood shake, Shakeology. You get really simple meal plans. And just, I like to just bullet it out because I'm one of those people that I'm like, just, you know, just tell me what I'm going to get with this, you know? And if you watch the Andrea Crowder video, you're going to learn how to kind of like layer slides over each other to give them a really nice effect. And here's the thing. After you upload, or like when you're uploading your slides, save them. Save them to your phone. Save them into a special little folder in your camera roll on your phone. And then you can go pull those slides a couple days later and re-upload the whole thing without having to like recreate everything. Okay. Do this like probably 3 or 4 times before the event, depending on how early you start promoting it. Because you want to make sure that you have your cutoff of accepting people at least a week before the group's going to start, because these kits are just taking a while to ship and get to people. So we really want to make sure that we have the majority of the people signed up like 10 to 14 days before the group is going to start. And, you know, when I get like towards the end of my slides, I'll do the call to action where I'm like, message me if you're ready to get started, or message me for more information with a little arrow like pointing down where they can message you. And, you know, watch our stories, because you're going to see me and Haley and Leslie and Jordan and Megan and Tressa, and a lot of us use this method like in our Instagram stories, and just duplicate what we do. Like when I'm watching, because I watch your guys' stories too, and when I see something that I really like, I screenshot it so that it's saved into my phone, and then I can go back and reference, like, use the wording that I use, like change up your colors or whatever you want to do. Don't re-upload like my exact same slide, you know, make it look like you. And just duplicate like exactly what we do. Don't feel like you have to reword everything. Don't feel like you have to overcomplicate it. You know, success leaves clues. And so watch the people who, you know, are like, you know, having success with getting people enrolled with it, and just kind of duplicate what they're doing. So yeah, like I said, save the slides and re-upload them like every couple days or every day when it's getting like kind of down to the wire and you want to, get people enrolled there at the end. And what I have been doing specifically for Clean Week, that is, how often do you recommend people advertise a group? It depends on how early you're starting to advertise it, but I would do, if it's like 2 weeks out, I'd do it like every other day. And then like the last couple days before you want to get people signed up, then, do it like every day. And you can shorten like how many, rather than uploading like every single slide that you have, like you can shorten it up a little bit, or even just pop on and do a couple. And when I say a couple, I mean like 2 to 3 at the most talking slides. People don't want 15 talking slides of you telling all the details about Clean Week. They're going to swipe right out of you because they're going to get bored. It's easier if they can just see it like in text, and they can like tap it at their speed of how fast they read rather than listening to you talk for 15 seconds for 15 slides. People are going to get bored and they're going to zone out, and it's not going to like turn into anything. Yes. And definitely breadcrumb your story in your slides. Like Leslie said, I thought she was going to steal my thunder here when she started talking about Instagram stories. I'm like, whoa. This is my topic. Okay. But Instagram stories is the way. So social media, if you guys have listened to the last like 2 or 3 national wake up calls, they've all of these top coaches, Melanie and Lindsay Matway and Ashley Molstad, they're all talking about how much social media is changing, especially for us as network marketers. And there is a really big shift from Facebook over to Instagram. And basically what they are seeing success with is posting on your Instagram page like 1 to 2 quality posts a day, rather than what we used to teach, 3 to 4 posts a day to make yourself relevant and make yourself being seen like frequently in the newsfeed. They're not necessarily teaching that anymore. Rather than just, posting something to get a post up so that people are seeing you. Now it's really thinking about quality over quantity, making sure that your image is pretty and eye-catching. You want to make your Instagram like feed kind of read like a magazine. You want your photos to be cohesive when you go to look at your page. And I audit my Instagram my social media based on my Instagram page and looking to see, hey, am I posting like only sweaty selfies or only food? Or I mean, you guys haven't seen a sweaty selfie from me in like a year, but that's a different point. But analyzing your social media that way, because it gives you that like snapshot, and then using the stories to document more frequently, more of your day-to-day life things, because that's when they're going to see, when you're having a crappy day and you just like really need that glass of wine at the end of the day and they know that you're human. Or that's when they, they just get a little bit more intimate look into your life if you let them. We talk about vulnerability in your posts, but vulnerability in your stories, letting them know when you're going through struggles. Like I've been pretty open with struggles that we've gone through with Lily since she's been born, as far as like, her crying and her fussing and her tummy troubles and stuff like that. And I can't even keep up with the amount of private messages that I'm getting from people. But again, it's just a way to start conversations. They feel like they know me. And when they feel like they know you and they feel like they're your friend, they trust you. And then when they see your, call to action type posts come through, they're more likely to reach out to you because you're already a friend. They already feel like they know you. They trust you. Okay. And then this is a separate, not so much related to Instagram stories, but something that I have been using ever since we did the first Clean Week group is creating an interest form. And you can make it either in Google Docs or on Wufoo. And me and Haley and Leslie, we've all used these. So you can look at ones that we've shared in our events and just copy what we do. Like don't spend hours and hours like trying to recreate like something brand new. copy the questions that we've used. And I really like to do that because it, first of all, gives me their like contact information right away, their name, their email address. I ask what flavor of Shakeology, if they want regular or vegan. I ask what their goals are with Clean Week. And then they're able to submit it to me. And I'm able to see like who really is ready to take this next step. And then I can take their email and try to plug it into Share a Cart and find out if they're already somebody else's customer, because then it starts the whole process of getting them switched to you first before you sell them Clean Week, so that some other coach who's not really doing any work steals your commission on this person. So it's really important to make sure that you are verifying that they're not already, so many of the people that I've, probably at least 50% of the people that I've enrolled for Clean Week have been a customer of Beachbody at some point, not my customer. And I've had to make sure that I take that extra step to get them switched to me before I can put in their Clean Week order. So just having that interest form and having all that information right there. I don't know.
I just didn't know if you've done it yet.
I haven't done it with Share a Cart. It was all still Coach Mobile the last time that I was.
So I don't know. We might need to do a little digging on this, because with Share a Cart, you can set up orders for customers. Like it used, Coach Mobile used to only be new customers or new coaches.
Right.
So we can do a little digging on that, and we'll let you guys know in the team page. So that might
be other way that you can kind of circulate around this is in your interest form. Ask them, have you ever purchased anything from Beachbody before? Have you ever worked with a coach before? And, ask those kind of questions. So include the interest form in the event. So what I do on my event on my Facebook page, I include the link for the interest form in the event on my Facebook page. In Instagram, I have, you're allowed one link like in your bio. So you can either put the link directly right there, or you can set up a link tree, which a lot of us have done already, that allows you, it's just an extra little like link that allows you to then have several links for people to choose from to contact you. So you can make one of those links the interest form for your group. And then what I'll do, like when I'm doing my slides for Clean Week, is I'll take a screenshot of my Instagram profile page showing my Linktree link and like circle it with an arrow, like showing people where to click. And then I'll take a screenshot of the Linktree page and circle the interest form for them to fill out, so they know like the steps to take to get to that interest form. And then I have it set up where it'll just email me or text me when I have a new form that's come through, so I can get back to them right away. I'm just looking to see if there were any other questions, but I think I answered all of the ones that are in the chat. Do any of you guys have any questions about Instagram stories for Clean Week? They're super beneficial. Super, super beneficial.
Can I say something, Logan?
Yes.
I'm kind of like Leslie. Like I did Instagram, but I focused mainly on my like page for a long time. I had a lot of people there. Things were going good. And so I didn't jump on the Instagram like real big until the end of last year. And especially the stories, because Snapchat was not my thing. And I was thinking Instagram stories was pretty much the same thing. So it took me a long time, you guys. And it took me a long time to figure it out too. But it is huge. And it has been a huge reason why my Success Club numbers, the people I'm getting involved in our challenge groups and on our team, have drastically increased the last couple months because of Instagram stories. because people don't care how many transformation pictures you post there, how much you talk about groups there. Like it goes away in 24 hours. Who cares? You can't do that, on your page. But I just urge you guys, if you have not used them yet, just start using them. Just start getting comfortable with it. Watch Logan's, watch Leslie's, watch mine and Jordan's. And so many people on this team are starting to really utilize it, and watch them. Now don't get caught watching them for a long time, because you really can do that, because it just keeps going, through everybody's. But watch them and get ideas. Use their wording. We are a team. What I use is something you can use as well. Okay, you guys, but just get comfortable using it these next couple of weeks and really start diving into it in February, because it is a game changer. So
I'm going to add one thing really quick. Oh, sorry. I just scared her. She fell asleep. I just spoke too loud. At the end of the day, watch your story back. That's so important. And I have to do that with mine. I'm like, what did I even talk about in my story today? Was I boring AF, or was I actually interesting today? And, just a lot, be critical with yourself, and even reach out to us if you need feedback, but make sure that you are using good lighting when you are doing any sort of talking. I've got this super fancy little ring light from Leslie that is giving me this fantastic glow right now. So if you've seen me looking extra glowy on my stories, it's because of this fancy little light. Or stand in front of a window. Natural light is amazing. Don't sit with the window back behind you, because your face is going to be dark. Don't sit in the dark. And make sure that you are talking and being expressive enough that you are interesting, so that people aren't swiping out of you. Watch your stories back and make sure that you are giving enough variety, rather than, people don't want to only see a workout every day. Give them more give them a deeper glimpse into your life and who you really are as a person. This is the perfect place to utilize your 5 pillars and talk about things that are more than just health and fitness. Don't whisper. Use a loud, clear voice, so that people, unless you have a napping newborn that you don't want to wake up. But really just try every day to sit down at the end of the day, before you go to bed or first thing in the morning before they expire, to sit down and watch your own story and think okay, is this interesting? Would I follow this person or would I watch their stories? So that's something that I like to do frequently. Am I only posting about the baby? Am I posting about enough other things too that are interesting and going to hold people's attention? So that's just another tip.
Did you mention about checking to see who's watching them?
Oh, yes. This is very important. And brings me to another thought that I can add on to. So down in the corner of your Instagram stories, it will show you how many people have watched your video. And make sure that you are checking that daily. Luckily, now we have the archive option on Instagram stories, because they used to just disappear after 24 hours and just be gone forever. And you couldn't go back and see who was watching your stories consistently, every day. Because these are the people that you want to make sure that you are love bombing on, starting private conversations, watching their stories so that you can comment to them and start conversations behind the scenes. Because if they are watching you all the time, they're interested. If you can see that they're watching almost every story that you do, they are interested. And sometimes these are the people that you just rip off the Band-Aid and invite. And we have a lot of scripts on how to just kind of have that, conversation. If you need specific help with wording or anything, just post in the page and we will all give suggestions on how to do that. But the other thing that you can do, that I like to do in my stories, is the polls option. Hopefully you guys all have that as a possible it's when you hit the little icon that's like the little square, it looks like a sticky note type of thing with like a smiley face on it. One of the things that you can bring up in addition to hashtags, which are very important to put on your stories because it gets your story in front of more eyes, people who aren't already following you, but they're following that hashtag. Same with geotags. Geotags are your location. If you geotag your Instagram story with a specific location, whether it be like your exact hometown or your state or whatever it is that or a restaurant that you're at or whatever, people that are watching like the Richland, Washington story, that if you're, public, then your story will show up in that main feed. And it's just more eyes on your profile, getting more people to see like what you have to offer. The polls option is great because I've done a couple posts where I ask people if they're ready to get started on a health and fitness journey. And one of the options is, yeah, girl, let's chat. And the other one is like, maybe in a couple months. And then I can see, they can pick one or the other and I can see who is interested, who maybe I haven't talked to before, or, just a newer person. So if you have the polls option, take advantage of that as well, because it's just another way to kind of find out who's interested, because maybe they're just really scared to message you or they're just scared to reach out because, like we all know, starting a health and fitness journey is kind of scary because you're afraid you're going to fail. And how many of us waited months and years before we, got started. So just another way to reach out to more people and add to your list.
Thanks, Logan. You're like full of information. You could do like a whole call on this.
I know.
I could never steal your thunder about Instagram. Sorry. Okay. One thing that, like she said, that has helped me is hashtags. And I started picking hashtags that represent my pillars. So like co-parenting, things like that. And then I make them really, really, really tiny. So you can't even see them in the story. And then it shows up in that hashtag. And then I'm like showing up in that hashtag. Does that make sense? So maybe my story is not super relevant to that tag, but people are clicking on me and following me because once they click on my profile, they're like, oh, she's a co-parenter and look what she's about. I want to follow her. So also about your hometown. If you live in a tiny place and you're like, nobody lives here, it's okay to like tag the biggest city next to you or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so more eyes can get on you. That's really helped me. But I was going to say that just using it consistently, like so that people look forward to seeing you every day has really helped. Like I've probably gained like 400 followers in the last 2 months just because I do it consistently, because it's just a thing now. People just sit on their beds before they go to bed and watch other people's Instagram stories like it's soap opera. I don't it's just a thing now, right?
It's like reality TV. It's addicting because you're getting a real life look into other people's lives. And when you're showing up in their life consistently as a positive influence and someone who just puts them in a better mood and, maybe starts their day off better or ends their day on a happy note, like that's what we get to do. So take advantage of that because people are watching, and just, be yourselves, let your personality come through, and just don't be afraid to put on your stories what the heck it is we have to offer people, because we change lives, like bottom line. So let people know it.
Absolutely. And I think Instagram stories is like, kind of like I said earlier, like if you're like afraid to like talk about your business or talk about, your transformation or whatever on your social media right now, like maybe that's still a really scary thing for you guys, do it on your stories. Start there because you can just completely be real, right? And then, work your way up to the bigger posts and whatnot. And like we said, this could totally be a whole nother call. And maybe here in the next couple months, we can do like an Instagram training or something.
Hey, can I say one more thing and I'll shut up? I swear to God.
Yeah.
you guys see all these like fancy Instagram stories, right? Like me and Jordan doing these workout videos, and then people with like all this text blowing up and music, and Haley has crazy stuff going on, like all this like foo-foo craziness, okay? Don't feel intimidated by that. There's a lot of training out there, but that is like way down here on the priority list, okay? And what's most important is that you're making connections. So like rule of thumb, don't even bother floofing, is that a word? I don't know the word. Don't bother like making this crazy workout video and making your Instagram story look all high tech if you haven't messaged people, if you haven't connected with people. Like that's the most important thing. That you take care of you, you take care of your business, and then go add all your crazy stuff to your Instagram story. Like that's super, super important, because otherwise it's a time sucker.
For sure. I'm so glad you said that too. Because it can absolutely be something that you can do super quick and add to your story, or you can spend a long time on it. And if you guys just start adding to it, just start talking, sharing pictures, share your workout as you do it, or like when you're done, do like your favorite your favorite 3 moves or something, and just post it. Honestly, I think sometimes people like to see us just like real time working out, because that's what they see, all these videos looking fun, which I love to do and I love to make and I love to watch them. But I also like watching people do it real time, because I'm like, man, she couldn't get that last push up and neither could I, like sometimes it's more relatable if all you can do is just record and push post. So just go out there and do it, you guys. That's all we're asking for this month of February for Team Cup. Our whole year's slogan is fail big, right? This is your second opportunity of the year, really, because it's February, but this is your first opportunity to do this Team Cup and fail big, you guys. Just go out there, try some new things, and put yourself in front of people, but don't forget the basics. Don't forget to be doing your power hour, to be plugging into your challengers that you already have, to be plugging into the challenge group, but just do a little bit extra next month. You guys, this has been an incredibly longer call than we anticipated, but it is jam-packed with information that we just wanted to make sure you guys had the tools to make you feel comfortable with doing that little bit extra next month and really stepping out and plugging in. And you guys, I mean, there's still 20 of us sitting here on this call an hour and a half later. And I appreciate you taking the time tonight away from your families and your workouts probably pushed back 30 minutes now if you're a late night workout person. But I really appreciate you guys being here. And I'm really excited to see what comes of this in February, to see our team grow, to see our challenge groups grow. And I hope you guys are excited too. I wanted to have the time to kind of throw around some ideas, because I know some of you guys in your smaller teams for Team Cup have already been like strategizing and whatnot. And I think that is awesome, but we got to get off this call. It's been too long. So if you guys, have thought about something that we didn't talk about tonight, have questions, whatever, go live in the team page, post questions there, give ideas there so that we can all see it, so we can all work together to really maximize our Team Cup next month. All right, you guys. So I'm headed to bed. Brock just finished his 2 episodes of The Office without me, so I'm behind again, but that's okay. Goals, right? So anyway, you guys, I hope you got a lot of information. I hope you took notes. This is recorded, so if you need to go back and watch anything, do it. But I appreciate you guys being here tonight. Anybody else need to say anything? You good? All right. We will see you guys in the team page. Happy Tuesday. Bye, y'all.